An 8-figure poker match has taken the poker world by storm, where Jungleman went up against casino owner Monarch in a high-stakes heads-up no-limit game, some of the highest stakes we've ever seen happen on any live stream over at the new Onyx Club. This is the second high-stakes match for Monarch, whose last $2 million match against Tornado ended with him losing $2 million and calling him out to continue to play. At that point, Tornado realized he had somewhere he had to go.
That is indeed.
Okay, call your true friends. Let's do 5 mil.
Call my true friends?
Yes, let's do 5 mil.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to go.
When?
Like,
When is your flight?
like I have to leave here 7 a.m. and I don't want to go in the middle of the match. And I have to go.
We have 4.5 hours.
You sure you don't want to play another guy?
Like who? They are all pussies.
Oh, I totally would, but I got the thing with the stuff. I got, you know, all 4 million. I'm not playing you for this. But the stakes rose with a second match for even more money against none other than the Jungleman. Daniel Cate enters the arena for a $12 million match posted over 2 streams. It didn't start at 12 million though. These guys started off with $1 million each, and the swing started coming hot. The first couple of matches were small, $1 million each, winner take all. I love when you start off a video saying the stakes were small. It was for 2 million.
We're just running. How many times are we running it? You want to run it once? Is that reasonable?
No help. Needs an ace. No good. Dispatching Monarch after just 19 hands. Very unlucky.
Jungle took down match 1. Monarch took down match 2. And then before you know it, we took a commercial pause and the stakes were upped. It was now a $3 million match. Each person having to put up $3 million, winner take all, and the stakes would only continue to rise. Our first hand we're going to break down happened in match 3. Jungleman has the lead here, up 4.6 million to about 1.4, and Monarch decides to make a big pre-flop open to $100,000. The blinds here are 15k, 30k, so this is over a 3x, which is an uncharacteristically large raise. Over to Jungle now with ace 10. You can certainly call or 3-bet. In fact, I'm sure that the equilibrium strategy does some of both here. Jungle does decide to make the call, and we take a flop.
What?
You just knew. You just knew.
What is that?
666. But how did he know this one? He just makes it 100 out of nowhere.
That seems like a totally reasonable flop. And if you love websites with reasonable flops, I'll put a link in my description below for some free coins. Back to the hand here, we have 4 of a kind for Aussie Katola, who now has to decide what he wants to do here with his quads. Usually you want to bet on these flops. Typically you want to be aggressive, as the other player does not have many pairs pre-flop because they did not 3-bet. He does decide to go ahead and bet here on the flop. And now over to Jungleman. It might not seem like it, but Jungle actually has a very strong hand here. You're going to mainly be unpaired on these boards because you don't have that many pairs pre-flop, as I already mentioned. So ace 10 is a very strong hand. You're going to call at least a couple of streets and maybe even all 3. Aussie goes for a small bet of a premium SUV, and now over to Jungle with ace 10. You have a very clear check call, which he makes, and we take a turn.
Oh, sick. That is a very sick turn card. How does Jungle get away from this?
I think it's impossible.
This is a crazy hand. Just randomly makes it 100k pre for the first time ever. And for Jungleman, this is this is pretty brutal.
This might be the most insane heads-up hand I've ever seen. That turn is such a needle.
Oh, he raises. Oh, my word.
I mean,
What a feeling.
I don't blame him.
But what a spot for Monarch.
Well, and then him not wanting to get checked back on the river, right? He's kind of like, let's just build this up now.
Yeah.
The turn comes at 10, sealing Jungleman's fate with his top full house. He checks once again, and now Aussie sizes down, betting under half the pot. I actually would prefer to see a bigger bet here to set up for a river jam, but this can be okay as well. And unfortunately for Jungleman, he's going to fall right into the trap. With his freshly made full house, he opts to check raise, and now it's just a countdown to losing all his money.
Ace on the river.
I mean, it's one of the most insane boards. 6, 6, 6, 10 ace, or king 6 and ace 10. From his point of view, when he does jam and gets a call, he might think this is over.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be far from over. Does look like it's set him in. 825, leaves him 5k.
Why isn't he snapped?
I think he's just working out if he has more than the bet. You know, he's like, Just trying to see if it's a raise or not.
Oh, okay.
How much is it total?
830.
Then it's 5K more.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
You're gonna call.
This is so dumb, man. Fucking stupid.
Scripted as fuck.
This double up puts Aussie Monarch Katola back in the driver's seat here, now in the lead in this $3 million winner take all. Our next significant hand in match 3 was a triple barrel from Monarch, where he bets the flop, turn, and river after opening pre-flop and jams it in with 6-4 on king 7 5 10. A very good play in my opinion. These are the nice hands to bluff with, putting Jungleman in a terrible position with his top pair good kicker.
Oh my God.
Did you say all in?
Yes.
Oh
he
my
did.
God. Wow. Did not see this coming at all. An incredible bluff from Monarch. This is out of absolutely nowhere.
This is a very difficult situation for Jungleman. He does have some 5s when he goes check call on the flop, so certainly a spot where it is difficult to know what to do. I'm pretty sure at equilibrium you are supposed to call some top pairs here, and it seems like Aussie is the kind of guy that's pretty aggressive, so I would like to see Jungle call mostly in a situation like this, but of course it's also fine to be doing some folding when your opponent bets so big into a smaller pot. So can kind of go either way. Let's see what Jungleman does.
I wasn't planning on folding most runouts, man.
Oh, man. This is so sweaty.
Think you have it
It's
again?
an unbelievable shot.
Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe it's the bluff. Okay, we win.
Wow.
Gets it through. Oh my God, what a play from Monarch.
What the fuck?
Gets the 6-side through. Any other bet size Jungle was calling, I believe him.
Aussie gets the giant bluff through, and this brings us to our final hand in match 3 with Monarch with the pocket kings up against Jungleman's queen jack. We see some pre-flop action and a queen 9-6 board. And guys, when you flop top pair versus an overpair and heads up in a 3-bet pot, it's not going to be fun times.
Queen 9-6. Monarch even having the spades covered.
Oh, man, at this stack depth, it's going to be very difficult to get away from queen jack here.
Just a really small
A little milk bet, if you will.
inviter. Jungle going to attack the small bet, 400k. So many draws out there. Such a shallow stack makes sense to just go for it here. Doesn't want a scare card to come that might stop Monarch betting. Doesn't want to give him a free shot at the draw. May as well go for it all now. Again, all that in mind, I would love to see Monarch just jam here. Again, it's another thing we've seen yesterday, maybe a little too trappy, but trap is sprung. And yeah, I like this. This is definitely much better from him here. The jam is going to get called by Jungle, who will see he is behind. Was hoping to get some sort of draw. $2.6 million pot. We'll go a long way
Lure me again.
to getting Jungle back in
Times
this.
in a row for a huge pot.
Certainly has been cooled. And the 10 seals his fate. Jungle, 3 million in the red.
Jungleman is now stuck 3 million euros in this match. But luckily for the Jungleman, it'll all turn starting right now. Once again, these players take a brief break and they come back. This time, we're going to play a $5 million each winner take all heads up match. At this point, it sounds like we're just making up numbers, which is why I'm excited to announce my next heads up match. $100 million for realsies versus, I don't know, whoever comes. See you at Lodge Card Club. This next hand isn't the largest pot that happened. That's coming up at the end of the video. But this one is one of the most interesting ones for sure, where Jungleman opens 5-3 suited and faces a 3-bet from Monarch with ace-8 of clubs. Back over to Jungle, he makes the call. This is actually pretty normal for both of these players. Jungle could 4-bet every once in a while, but these are definitely hands that like putting in a decent amount of money pre-flop because of their playability. The flop comes ace, queen, 10, 2 diamonds, both players getting a piece. These are the kinds of boards that can build for crazy action. Monarch with his top pair has a pretty good hand, but obviously has to be concerned about a plethora of other stronger hands. And the Jungleman has just 5 high, one of the worst possible hands in showdown value, but of course he has a flush draw to go along with it. Monarch decides to check with his top pair, which is a very reasonable play, and now Jungleman bets 400,000 into a $900,000 pot. This is a smart bet from Jungleman. Usually when you get checked 2 and 3 bet pots, you like to go very small, but on boards like this, you're saying you have something pretty good in order to be able to bet, so sizing up a little bit is a very smart play. Over to Monarch now with top pair middle kicker. You're going nowhere on the flop. You got to check call and see how this develops, which he does do. And let's take a turn in what is already a 1.7 million euro pot.
As they head to the 9 of clubs on the turn. And here is the second show. And look at this. We've got a $3.1 million pot on our hands, with Monarch having just 1.8 million behind. Uh-oh.
The turn comes the 9 of clubs. Monarch now has a bad gut shot to go along with his top pair and no improvement for Jungleman. Monarch checks once again, and Jungleman has to decide what to do. He ultimately decides to fire the turn for $700,000 on just 5 high. Does have the flush draw to go along with it still. Over to Monarch now, top pair. I think you simply put half to call here. Obviously, your bad gut shot isn't anything to write home about, but it does give you some more equity when your opponent does happen to have a strong hand. There are some more outs where you'll improve. Also, if you check call, check fold top pair here, you're probably going to check call, check fold too many hands. So I do like his decision to call turn, and our pot is over 3 million euros as we take a river.
And a brick on the river. Do we fly a turn to check back river?
We do not.
He's going for it. He's going for it. Oh my.
There it is.
Here we go. $1.8 million bet. And I mean, this is now a grim spot.
The river comes in offsuit 7. Jungleman now has almost the nut low. He's playing the board, guys. Monarch checks once again and has to be praying that Jungleman checks back. But that's not what happens. And he gets the bad news where Jungleman goes all in for what must be at this point the largest bluff of his entire life. All Monarch has to do here is make the call to win a gigantic pot. Can he dig deep and find this with his top pair?
Wow.
Did Jungle just show it as well?
Show one.
Oh no.
Show one.
You're gonna see it.
I mean, the grid tells us everything we need to know.
Don't you worry, you're gonna see it.
Jungleman rides that hand all the way to closing out match number 4, which brings us to our 5th match. Once again, these guys enter the arena with a $5 million winner-take-all heads-up match. Despite the high stakes of $25,000 and $50,000 blinds, match number 5 actually went by relatively quickly, with Monarch slowly getting grinded down and ending up all in with 9-7 offsuit jamming into Queen Jack, where Jungle makes what would seem to be like possibly a pretty loose call all in pre. Jungle wins that all in, and we enter the largest match of the entire event, a $6 million each match, winner take all between Jungle and Monarch. Pretty early on in match number 6, we saw a gigantic pot happen where Jungleman decides to make a pre-flop maneuver with ace-8 offsuit, 4-betting this hand up against ace-jack suited. After 4-betting pre-flop, Monarch calls. We take a flop of queen 7-5, 2 spades. Monarch checks here with the backdoor nut flush draw, and Jungleman now with just ace high decides it's time to give up, checking back here on the flop, hoping to improve. The turn comes the jack of spades. Now Monarch has second pair top kicker, a fairly decent hand, although he has to be scared of a variety of holdings like traps or spades, or even ace king has a bunch of equity. So he has to decide whether he wants to check or wants to bet small to try and get value from lots of hands that might want to float him. Ultimately, he does decide to check it over to the Jungleman, who now has nothing here with ace-8 and decides it's time to start bluffing. Jungle bets $1.2 million on the turn, representing something like pocket jacks, maybe trapped pocket queens or aces, maybe a hand like queen jack. There are several different hands here that might want to value bet, including some flush draws that turn flushes. He is fairly polarized with such a big bet on the turn. His 1.2 million bet, almost half pot, brings this pot up to $4 million. Now Monarch with second pair top kicker has a pretty clear check call. Certainly in normal poker land, you would want to call here. Now, once it's for this much money, maybe people start doing different things. I don't know. But Monarch thinks it over and does make the correct call with the best hand heading into the river. The river comes an offsuit ace. Monarch improves to 2 pair, and he decides to go all in as a lead. A bit of a non-conventional play here, rivering 2 pair, particularly when the ace tends to help the player that 4-bet a bit more than the 3-better. Now over to Jungleman, a very, very, very weird spot, having to call 2.5 million into a $7.7 million pot, getting almost 3-1 here, or better than 3-1. But he has to ask himself, what hands could make sense to bluff with here? It'd have to be something like Jack 10, or maybe pocket 9s with a spade. Perhaps a few hands you could think of, but it's hard to see all too many. Can Jungleman get away here with his top pair middle kicker?
What's going on here, man?
What's going on is we're playing the largest pot ever seen on TV.
I could be wrong.
That's exactly what's happening.
I could be wrong. This is a situation, sir.
Not a breadstick. No. Is that a churro? What is that?
Oh my word. This man's facing down a river jam in the biggest pot in televised poker history, and he just snap chomps on a breadstick and then makes the fold correctly.
He just needed the breadstick in his life.
Oh my word.
That was so ridiculous.
Our next hand isn't interesting, except that Jungleman has a royal flush. There you have it, guys. I know how much you like your royal flushes.
This looks extremely rigged, like the hands today.
We have another gigantic pot that goes down, with Jungleman opening to 150,000 and Monarch 3-betting to 600,000 with King Queen suited. These stakes are wild. Now with Ace Jack, Jungleman could decide to 4-bet or call. He decides just to play it slow and call pre-flop, and we take a flop. King, Queen, Jack, 2 clubs, a giant flop for Monarch, flopping top 2 up against Jungleman's 3rd pair and top kicker, as well as the backdoor nut flush draw and a gut shot. With 1.2 million out there and about 4.6 behind, Monarch bets 1/3 pot here with his top 2. You can once in a while check here, but betting is the preferred play. I like this play from Monarch. Now for Jungle, with bottom pair top kicker, I definitely like calling. I don't hate the idea of maybe once in a blue moon putting in a raise with some blockers here, but generally speaking, call is certainly the best line. The turn is the ace of spades. Now, Jungleman improves to a better 2 pair than Monarch, but both players have to be extremely scared. Any 10 makes a straight, and while they both have good hands, either one of them loses to a single 10. Check, check on the turn, and we take an irrelevant offsuit 7 river. At this point now, it's fairly clear neither player has a 10, although Monarch should trap some 10s on the turn, and Jungleman should actually occasionally check back a 10 as well. In spots like this, when you're in softer games, these checks will mean they can't have a 10. I would not view that as the case in this particular game. Monarch now decides his 2 pair is good enough to go for some value, as Jungleman did not 4-bet pre-flop, so he's unlikely to have queens, kings, jacks, aces, and then he's also not likely to have ace, king, ace, queen. Because he checks back the turn, he thinks Jungle doesn't have a 10. So all in all, I don't actually hate the idea of going for a value bet on the river. He ultimately bets 1.4 million, which is 2/3 pot. I would actually prefer to go for more of a 1/3 pot bet size here. This feels like slightly too big given the scenario. Anyway, over to Jungleman with top and 4th pair. A very easy call here. Obviously, once you can beat value bets, you should almost never be folding hands. And he sniffs this one out, makes the call, and wins a gigantic almost 5 million euro pot. Down to just his last 700,000 euros, something you don't say often. We see an all-in pre-flop here with Queen 3 suited for Monarch up against Ace 8 for Jungleman. And it makes me think, I used to play heads-up matches. Whatever happened to those days?
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll tell you what, Monarch, if you're listening, I don't really know much about you, but if you ever come down to the great state of Texas, you got some action at Large Card Club. I think we could probably make whatever stakes you want work. We'll figure it out. Once again, we have another heads-up match challenge, huh? I guess it's true what they say. Can't teach an old Doug new tricks. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and join the team. Appreciate everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you soon.